Pleasure of working on this model. I'm a huge Mandalorian fan, and I must say that the first time I saw the ship in reference a few years ago, I was not a fan of it. Like, it looked bulky and a bit awkward, but I got to know it better, and I love it now. It's just a fantastic model. And after seeing the show, it was just incredible to see it flying, and pretty much every episode would have something new and fantastic to look at. So the Lego model, it's just shy over 6,180 elements. That's a lot of elements. The model is very detailed, both outside and on the inside. We made sure that we could depict all the details on the outside, all the markings, the yellow markings and the shapes. Very important for us was the overall shape, but also all the angles be correct. All the proportions, very important to capture, like the size of the engines should be in proportion to the rest of the ship, all of that. And it was a big challenge for us to make that work, especially because there's awkward angles all over the place. But we'll get to that in more detail. I'm going to just run it a little bit of the details and Easter eggs and what's inside and all that, and then on the Q&A you can ask more questions, and we can go deeper into why we chose to do some things and why we didn't choose to do others, and all that. So, if you can go forward, Anders, please. This is of course, obviously the front silhouette. The back, there's a ramp on the back, like in the real one. It can go up and down, and you can actually see through the interior all the way to the back. And the blurg, that's a brick build blurg too. And before that, so there's 4 figures. Quill, for the first time, Quill, the mithril. A new Mendo with arm printing and a new helmet print too. And a Grogu with his pram. The brick build blurg can go inside from the back, and you can place it inside. It has room for it with the figure on top of it. So this is the back edge, and then the cockpit, it's also very detailed. Oh, yeah, sorry. The sides. So the side edge is also open on both sides, just like the real thing. And you can open both. And you'll see later that the interior is also very detailed. We tried to capture pretty much everything that's inside, although a few things were left out because there was no room for it, due to the structure of the ship, to hold everything. So the cockpit is also fairly detailed. You have Mando's seat, of course, and then all the control panels. You have a little ball for Grogu. Can't hold it, sadly, but you can at least pretend. And then there's a door to the back, and then there's more storage room in the back where you can have the pram and a few other things. I can show you later too. Inside here, there's 2 carbonite chambers, and one carbonite chamber and 2 carbonite blocks. And they have stickers as the prisoners, but you can put the figure mithril on the carbonite chamber. On the other side, you can't really see it here. I'll show you later too. There's the weapon cabinet with weapons inside, because there's an episode where he opens up and you see all the weapons inside. You can see the floor is tiled and grills and everything, so we tried to really make it nice and polished. Yeah, you can go forward. So this is a shot of the back. This is the box. So with all this, all the angles and everything, from the start we had a hard time deciding how to access the interior. Because the way the panels are angled on the side, they're not angled outwards, they're angled inwards. So for them to be able to open, just like the AT for instance, would be a really, really big challenge. So we, from the start, decided that it would be probably better to be able to access from the top. So we designed it in a way that everything can be taken off. So, or pretty much everything. And then you can easily access the interior here. Later on you can come and see the inside. Also the top of the cockpit slides off, and you have his quarters down there. You can remove the bed. You can put him here if you want. We had a tough decision to make when we designing this. Like, we don't have room for the bathroom and his sleeping quarters, so we had to decide. And in the end, we kind of thought that the sleeping quarters offered more play value and would be better. So we went for that. There's the stairs going up. All of this comes off too if you want, but you don't need. Then the carbonate blocks can also be removed and placed again inside, and same with the cabinet chamber. The weapons cabinet, so it's, you can open it up, full guns, or not guns, weapons.
Blasters.
Blasters, yes. What else? So, as you can see, we tried to put everything that's inside that you see in the show. There's also a lot of details, a lot of Easter eggs. I don't know if any of you already built the model, but as you go, you have 4 or 5, maybe more Easter eggs. One of them, one of my favorites, is the child on board sticker written in Arabic. So, because there is a child on board, but there are more. But if you haven't built a model, if you're going to build a model, I would rather let you guys build it and discover all the Easter eggs. I don't know if yeah. So, the cockpit. We decorated, there's a new deco for this element here. This one. And this is actually the element that kind of decided the scale of the model. You can say it's fairly close to minifigure scale, but what is minifigure scale, right? It's very hard to define that, but it's very close. If anything, it's slightly bigger, but as usual, as we often do, we decide the scale of the ship based on a particular element. And we had official reference from Lucas, of course, and this is something that I used throughout the design of the model. It's a bit worn out, I'm sorry for that. We had pictures from all angles, and we looked at our portfolio of elements and said, okay, what can we do for the cockpit? And we discovered that this element would actually be a very good fit, and everything went from here. So if you put the ship on top of this, the proportions are very, very close. So the size of the engines, the shape of the back part, the shape of all the angles, everything is very close to the real thing. And what enables us to do that was actually this element. So you can see that it fits almost perfectly, and then from there, everything just flew. This is something that we do often, and we use it for reference. I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if
one thing, deciding that this was the scale to go for definitely created some complications about making the engines, because they have the size that they have.
Yeah, they're massive. Yeah. Each engine alone has around 800 elements, just the engines. So they were massive, and we had a few issues because the first iterations we had, they were just all the way. So the central structure would really have to be strong to hold the whole thing. Oh, and I forgot the escape pod. So the escape pod, and you can actually place Mando inside, and there's the window. You can see his pretty helmet, or the face, because actually this figure has the, I don't know if is it the first time that we do, no, it's not. It's been out before, right?
Yeah.
The face.
Yes.
Because before we had a black minifigure head. So we can fit inside, and you can see his face just lines up perfectly with the little window there. The brick build blur, we thought it would be really cool to add that, and brick build, because we're designers and we love brick build stuff, and in this case, it would make sense to have a brick build blur. I don't know if you have anything else to add, Jens, otherwise you can go to questions.
Yeah, no, but I think, I don't know, should we also show the box? Just
Oh, yes,
talk a
of
little bit
course.
about that. Because, we're also quite happy with the box. So,
True.
yeah, so of course we went with the black design, this one, because it's an add-on product. So, yeah, so a nice view on the front, and then on the back we show a little bit more. We also have some of the details, see them up here, and some images from the series. And then inside we'll have 2 boxes, and as usual we also putting print on there. So it's something we really think makes something extra, so there are different images from the series. Box number 2. So again, also some of the concept art that we got from Disney that we added to the boxes. And then the model is also split in a quite clever way. So you get, so in each box now, the second one here is opened, there are 2 building instructions. So basically, in the first box you build the first part of the model, and then in the last box you build the huge engine section. I have to say also what you're talking about, I've built it a couple of times now. That engine section just takes forever.
Yeah.
There's so many different
It's massive.
But so so as mentioned, there are 4 instructions.
That's box 2.
Yes, that's box 2. So
And of course, each instruction manual refers to that box, so you don't have to open box 2
Yeah.
while you're building box 1.
yes.
But I think that's pretty much it in terms of talking about the model. I don't know if you want to ask questions to us.
I can add a few other details. Also, it will go on VIP early access on October 3rd, and will go out for a normal sale on October 7th. And it's going to be $5.99 US and euro, and $5.99 pounds.
Sorry, what was the pounds?
So $5.19.
119.
Yeah, 99.
Do we have Australian dollars available?
Excuse me.
Can you give us a price in Australian dollars?
I don't have the Australian dollars, but I can find it for you for sure. Yeah, I'll get that for you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot of local currencies.
Do you think to do transcription for chapter 4?
Sorry? If we
Just a joke. Do you think to do the extraction for chapter 14 of the series when the Razor Crest blew?
That's very easy. You just drop it.
well, actually, it was quite, I don't know, funny, but still, it was like when you start designing
Yeah, I was just
a week
starting to-
after, we saw the chapter where it exploded.
Because you didn't know to. But it's still iconic enough. We can do that. And I think it's especially with the upcoming season 3, it's still very relevant. Even though you won't see it.
It is kind of the Millennium Falcon of
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
So should we go for Q&A?
Let's do that.
One question, Henrik Hartmann, Klemmbaustein, Germany. I heard, or I had in remembering that you said that UCS models will not have special minifigures. Or was this only a rumor? Because now we have UCS model with, I think 2 are not available in any other set till now. Is this a new strategy, or was it only a rumor that only not so special minifigures will be in UCS models?
Well, it was actually something that we have kind of, I don't know if we've had a set strategy, but it was something we have, based on input from you guys, it was something that we have changed, because we know that when you're buying something, a big set, it's nice to get something unique, something special, and we want to give that. So we had a case, and that was with the gunship, where there was also where people were not super happy about the minifigures because they were not unique. And honestly, we've taken that in. So here it's just, I just say, yeah, there are two things. We'd like to offer something special, but also the figures that are in the set here just make so much sense. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if anybody wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you.
John, should I just do
You
the?
can moderate.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Just to follow on from that, did you consider other figures, like maybe Frog Lady or?
Well, we thought about everything, and we kind of wanted to base this model almost like in season 1, so at the beginning of season 1. That's why I have the Mithril and Quill. So, but yeah, we considered all kinds of figures for this model.
But these were just the ones that made most sense.
Yeah.
First of all, because of the carbonite thingy, and then second, because we wanted to make the blurred, so it would just be a natural thing to have Quill in there.
Yeah.
Plus, he's a super cute minifigure.
I have spoken.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
So can you give us a little bit of details? When do you start the design process? So as you mentioned before, the moment you were thinking of we could do a big Razor Crest, you didn't know that the ship will explode. So was it during the design process that you saw the episode and think, oh my goodness, now we're on a roll here? Or was it like later on? Can you give us kind of the timing of the whole design process? Yeah, in general.
I like I said before, I was already designing it when the episode when it exploded, and we were surprised and we had a discussion about it. But I don't remember exactly when was that. But I started working on this model, I don't know, maybe March, April of the year before.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I remember clearly I don't remember exactly in what phase I was at the design, but I was already deep into it, and we had decided by the time that we were going to do it. So it was a bit of a shock, but at the same time, like, yeah, let's keep going because it's the Razor Crest. So.
I think at that time, the information we got from Disney was that something could happen to the ship. So it's like, okay,